through the knife round.
We are indeed. Cash, an interesting map. I don't actually know who's favoured in this one. I mean, in terms of just the two teams, I suppose we could say Fnatic, and especially after the performance they showed us on Mirage, which really was a stomp. Really quickly, we've got TL Money and Yorokuma. Thank you so much for subscribing. But we're going to be getting into the game. This could be the final map of the whole tournament, which, you know, almost brings a tear to my eye because I've enjoyed every single second of it. But let's enjoy this map anyway. It's going to be Fnatic versus Mousesports. Of course, you said it, and I said it as well. Fnatic with one map advantage, so they just need to take this, and it's all finished. And they're going to be pushing A very fast indeed. Alu's going to be playing passively on Car. He's going to sight 2 there, and he's going to make the call out. No early exchanges. Pronax has been very aggressive, gets the headshot onto KZY. And that's certainly going to give them the advantage going into this one. Tabson does answer back though, but 4-on-4 retake scenario. Well, it could go either way actually. They're pushing through, making good tracks here, Mousesports. Now only 2 remaining members for Fnatic. And Ledger's got the jump. He's got that down, hasn't he? We've seen him do that before. And he's making it work for him again. Now Flusher really would not be expected to get anything done there. And he's actually just going to defuse the bomb. So, what? What? Oh my god. My heart raced there, Mez, but he didn't get it. Chris J. He got the defuse at the end, but Flusher, he made it close. 1-0 to Mousesports.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do right from the get-go, because they are a map behind. And this is Fnatic's map. They're on CT side. And you'd expect them to pull out, I would say, 9 or 10 rounds on CT side, I'd imagine. Sorry, it's the other way around I'm talking about. You'd expect Mousesports to take 9 or 10 rounds here on CT side of Cash. So that's a good way to start things off. And this is a very split, slow, steady approach from Fnatic. And they do have a Galil and an AK-47 with 3 Deagles. So this is an interesting first pickup for them. They've really committed to this round.
Yeah, something we see time and time again from teams. You know, really investing into that second round. And actually in this series already, we've seen a lot of second round victories. JW's opened up on this B bomb site, and they're going to be able to get here and get the bomb down. So they can already count this eco as success. Just getting the bomb plant for money is a good thing. Ledger's going to push through very aggressively. Might have got a second if it wasn't for JW waiting, lurking behind, and he did take him down. So 4 plays 3. The bomb is down here. And let me just reiterate, they didn't have you know, the best of guns. This is a second round, having lost the first. So a very real chance. Actually, they're backing on out here, Mousesports. They're going to give them the round. And, well, Fnatic are actually saying you're not going to get away with anything, as they do chase them down. Chris J with a very nice shot onto JW, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Fnatic have, they've won the second round.
Oh, that jump shot, though, from Chris J was pretty sublime, I've got to say. He's going to drop anyway from Crims. He's going to be Fnatic. So, they committed. It paid off for them. Fortune favours the brave. And now it's back in Mousesports' court, and they can't afford to do anything. They have literally no money. They saved an M4. That's it.
Yeah, and it's scary how easy it was for JW to go in and get the pick. Don't you think? I'm already getting flashbacks to Mirage. He just went in there on his own and got the frag, and that just got them around. So, already a somber tone of my voice, because I want this one to be close. I want it to be exciting. I want that third map. I really do. But Fnatic, to me, they just seem like they've come back, you know, and they've carried on where they left off. They still look very strong. And Mousesports picking up that first round, I thought, might just give them, you know, that startup that they needed as Ledger exchanges with JW. Neither person getting the frag. But yeah, Fnatic were able just to answer back straight away. But that headshot from Chris J with the scout, the gun they clearly love so much, making it work once again. A 4-on-4 situation, and Alu's got an M4, let's remember that, and 2 CZs are still pretty powerful, so, I mean, Mousesports could pick up this round.
They could do. It is going to be a difficult uphill climb, but it's definitely possible. Main A seems to be the place of choice right now for Fnatic, and JW gets the scout shot. Nice opening pick. Crims comes in as well. KZY though gets 2, very nearly gets a 3rd. That would have been sublime. But it all rests on Tabson's shoulders. He had a very quiet Mirage by his own high, what you'd expect is on high expectations, and unfortunately didn't really pay out for him. Flusher and JW, who both performed very well on Mirage, are still alive. But Tabson's picked up 1. He's looking for the 2nd, and he gets it as well. And that is going to be the defuse. Lovely clutch from Tabson. Had a quiet first map. Maybe this is his moment to shine.
Yeah, maybe that's what he needed, and maybe actually that's what the team needed, a bit of a wake-up call. It's like, guys, what's going on? We just gave away the second round. But they answer back again, and they win their eco. So the M4, the Alu, I was going to say Alu J then. I suppose the combination Alu J on Mousesports is pretty strong. But yeah, Alu did save the M4, and that did them the world of good, and Tamsin was able to utilize it in the end. So a great answer to a great answer from Fnatic, if you will. So 2 eco rounds won. And now Mousesports do reclaim their lead, and 2-1. It's a narrow lead, and Fnatic have been able to buy up again, so a lot resting on this round monetarily. But Ledgers open up well, and let's see if Mousesports can convert this into a 3-1 lead and put Fnatic on the eco.
Well, Legia has picked up the second kill of the round there. And Alu's going to come around and get himself one as well, so this is looking pretty good for Mousesports. Trying to stabilise as much as they possibly can. And thus far, they've been able to do just that. 3-1 will be the scoreline, more than likely. Barring a miracle, barring a miraculous play from both Crims and Pronax, this should be a clear-cut round for Mouse. The bomb's been planted. That is going to be a slight thorn in the side. They can afford to do this. They can afford to go 1-for-1. Pronax, however, has opened things up and got his second frag. He realises this round is lost, and therefore he's just going to go ahead and save. Very smart play, actually, John. A lot of players would have tried their best to keep that bomb alive. Pronax realising, nope, he realises boundaries, and instead he'll keep that AK-47.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Very, very smart play indeed. He is the in-game leader, so you expect him to be, you know, I don't know if you'd say more sensible, but you would hope that he had the brains, and he's displaying that he does that, and it's a very wise decision from him. So he's going to have an AK, 2 flashes, and a smoke going into this round. So you'd expect him to lead the charge. And the charge is mid, and in fact, he does lead it very well. And Crims takes down Chris J. This is the opening that Mousesports certainly did not want to give Fnatic. And on the eco as well, if they were to lose this round, it would almost be a tragic turn of events, having come back and got 3-1.
Alright then, Fnatic will got the bomb down. KZY, or Kazuya, as we've also been told you can pronounce his name, does get the kill back. There's Flusher. And again, they have the 2-man advantage. Nice flashbang, but they're unable to... Oh my goodness, Kazuya really should have had at least 1 kill, maybe even 2. Didn't really matter in the end. And Fnatic only lose to 1 player. That was a beautiful round for them.
Yeah, I remember the decision that we were, clapping, if you will, on Pronax's behalf. He saved that AK, and look what he did with it. He went and got the opening on mid there. And, of course, Crims with the CZ did take down Chris J in the B, so that gave him the opening. And they, of course, split it from mid. There is a little vent thing that you go through, and that's, a simple strategy, but it worked out for them. And the more important thing about that was it was an eco, and Mousesports losing another eco. They just can't let that happen. We saw what happened on Mirage. It got out of control for them. It was just out of their reach, as it were. But Flusher takes down 2 and makes it look fairly easy. And, these are worrying signs. Mousesports need to step up their game. And for me, losing an eco is a sign they haven't stepped up their game. And, they've got to be worried at this point.
That's a good point that you raised, that Fnatic are looking strong. And it's never a good thing when you're against them, especially from Mousesports' perspective, because they need to win this map and they need to win the one after. So, certainly stacking against them. Fnatic, 2 rounds they'll be happy with so far. 3-2 is a good scoreline for Terrorists, but it could very well be 3-3. 3 players have been picked up. Chris J, though, is refusing to go down without a fight. He gets himself 2, very nearly a 3rd, as JW tagged down to 4 hit points. Legia all that remains. He's to get finished off by Pronax, and that will be the 3-3.
It will indeed. I just pressed... what am I like? I just pressed the start button instead of alt there, tabbed out. Good one me. But yeah, 3-all. So Fnatic come back. And let's not forget they actually won the second round, didn't they? But Mousesports, with a fantastic answer to that, won the round following. So it was actually it was 2-1, I believe, and they made it 3-1. And now Fnatic have brought it back to 3-all. So Mousesports already let it kind of slip out of their grasp. Is Chris J going to find that frag? He does, and narrowly getting the second, but it wasn't to be. And Crims is going to find himself a man very close by, and that's Alu. He just dropped without really getting much done. And that's going to give them the A-bomb site should they want it. And want it they do, as they realise it's virtually empty. Well, I'm not sure if they do realise that, but it is, as Mousesports have opted to stack the B. So they're going to make headway here. They're going to go in pretty slowly, which is sensible. Don't want to take any undue risks, and there's a whole minute on the clock, so why rush into things? But you know, they've got the plant now. They've got control of the site with ease, and Pronax just take down Legit in the middle there as well. He's on 8 HP, so that's something, but a 4-on-2 here for Mousesports is not a likely situation for them to come out on top on.
Yep, and this does have 4-3 pretty much stamped on it with authority. And it's, I don't know, Jono. I don't know. What do you reckon? Mousesports going to be tearing their hair out right about now? It doesn't seem they can answer the call of Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing, how do I phrase this? I mean, all I can say is I cannot understate the how bad it is when you lose an eco round. Struggling to word it. Maybe because I'm getting like bad memories of losing eco rounds and it's making me emotional or something ridiculous. But trust me, when you lose an eco round, I mean, when you've got the guns, you know, I should say anti-eco round. When you've got the guns and you know they have pistols, there's a certain way to go into the round, and that is cautious. I mean, some teams go overconfidently and they end up losing it, and you know, they paid the price. Chris J was exposed, and they got a frag elsewhere, but Chris J, talking of, does take down JW, so in this round at least they have got the opening. Tabson's going to be pop flashed in. Lovely teamwork, so things looking a lot better in this round. But yeah, if you lose an anti-eco, it really does bring down the mood of the team, and you realise that you made a mistake. You know you should have had the round, and Fnatic, you know, on the other side of it, would be rubbing their hands. Olofmeister missed that shot, and Chris J gets another. So it's nice to see him hitting shots at least. You know, if he can step up, if Value can step up, they're the big hitters, and Mousesports would certainly have a chance in this one, but the rest of the team have got to step up as well. And as I'm speaking, Fnatic bring it back to, well, actually now it's a 1-on-3, so Crims, can he step up and do this clutch? If he were to do this, it'd probably be worse than losing an eco round, and Mousesports might just crumble, but I mean, it's unlikely that he will get this.
It's unlikely, especially as Leggy does have the position on him. Back at the boxes there on 8, and that is going to be the 4-4. Easy rebuy, though, for Fnatic. They even have a couple of AWPs in the mix as well, Olofmeister and JW. So that would suggest maybe they're going to try and pick mid. What do you reckon, Jono?
Yeah, they're not going to rush in anyway, you can be damn sure of that. Probably boost up mid and get one on the ground at mid as well, or maybe go and try and pick B. It's quite a long, poor-way B. Or even A onto quad boxes. I mean, this is actually quite a long-range map. Chris J, talking of AWPing, gets 2 as he drops JW. Now only 1 AWP in play of Olofmeister. And, well, he's almost made irrelevant with that fantastic play by Chris J. What great aggressive AWPing, and gives the team the very best opportunity to take this round, as it is now a 5 versus 3.
And they did commit a lot of funds into this round as well. We spoke at length before about the double AWP. So far, not been paying off for them. Still got a minute to play with. Minute in CS time is a long time. So they can maneuver, they can snake their way into a position and try and easily just catch Mousesports off guard. You can see Pronax is around the door now on A, and Olofmeister's looking out of main with the AWP, but the Chris J is going to get the upper hand. The other AWP, Pronax now, is going to peek round Chris J, another one. Beautiful reaction speed. 5 versus 1. Flusher's top fragging with 9 and 4. I feel this may be slightly too much to ask for from him. And indeed, he is going to start to rotate his way back, trying to find a safe position, I'd imagine, and see if he can get a couple of frags in the process. Leggy has spotted him. He will go down, though. And there's no hope here for Flusher, because simply put, the bomb is on A, and he's on B with 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, he realises that. He's just trying to save this gun, and I think Mousesports will want to go and find it off him, but actually I'd probably discourage that course of action, because they've got less money than Fnatic, so if they lose guns, it's going to hurt them more than it would actually hurt Fnatic, with Flusher losing the gun. Well, 1 for 1, I suppose you could probably argue that that's worth it. And actually, oh, I'm completely wrong, sorry, I thought the money was great on Fnatic. Actually, Pronax and Flusher are pretty rich, 8k and 6k respectively, but the rest of the team not doing so well. So actually the decision there to turn down Flusher was a good one. So well played from Mousesports. And by the way, we should be saying well played Chris J. My god, that was 4 in the end. Fantastic round from him.
And 2 of them were fantastic AWP shots as well. Well, there's Flusher though. Leggy comes back, will fall down. So it's almost as if they're expecting an eco rush and they're trying to move into position. Chris J! Are you kidding me? This guy is on fire right now. Top fragging on the server. He will finally go down though to Crim's grenade. But there is Kazuya on uppers, having a quick look across. Ali with the AWP. It did drop before. They had a double AWP combo again. Mousesports love to use this. Alu will fall down. So, a one-on-one duel to the death. Kazuya against Pronax. Kazuya has 4 kills and he's on uppers still. He does have the bomb in his sights and will get the upper hand just about on Pronax. And that round could be absolutely crucial to this game, Jono. Kazuya stepping up when it needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a turning point. This could be a revived Mousesports that now come back and, you know, take a lot more CT rounds. Because it was looking fairly bleak for them at one point. Remember, we were all square. Fnatic had come back kind of against the odds to make it like that, and Mousesports seem to have answered here in kind. So they're now 6-4 up, and Fnatic do not have guns. So Chris J, it's just everywhere, isn't he? It's just going wherever he wants, getting frags, and that is a sign of confidence. That's a great sign, honestly, when your AWPer is playing like that, and Chris J is clearly feeling it. You know, it's a very good sign for Mousesports. tabseN landing a good grenade, having done damage, will take down Flusher. So we shouldn't be yelling too much in this one because it is just an eco round coming out from Fnatic. But if Mousesports can convert it cleanly, which they can't, as Crims gets the one dig there, KZY will find Olofmeister. Now Crims is in a 1 versus 4, and the bomb's down middle, so it's very likely he's going to do this. See if he can inflict a bit more economical damage. That would probably be the mission. So let's see what he can do.
Well, he does have the AWP in his grasp, but he's nowhere near the bomb. So he's going to need to get a couple picks before he can even hope to clutch this round. There's number 1. Not going to get carried away too much just yet. Chris J around T-Spawn has that bomb down perfectly. 27 seconds. So time's running out. Doesn't matter. There's Leggett with the M4 to secure that one off. And look at those stats. Chris J, 15 frags. Nearest person to him on his own team has 9. Just goes to show how crazy this guy is right now.
Yeah, and as I press tab, I look towards the bottom, obviously being the cynical old grumpy B-word that I am, and I guess who's at the bottom? It's Alu. So, I mean, that's a bit of a shock for me. He was the man of Mirage, most certainly, for Mousesports. He was by far and away top fragging. But it's Chris J's turn, clearly, this time round. Alu's actually not playing that well, so if he can step it up, and I'm pretty sure that he will, he's a man that, you know, he's not often bottom fragging, so I'm sure he will step up his game, and Mousesports will actually be looking fairly strong. I mean, they've brought this back into their favour. Now, 7-4 is a respectable CT scoreline. If they do not drop a load more rounds, you know, they can be fairly comfortable going into the second half. So, Fnatic with the bye. So let's see if they are going to put a spanner in the works, put a spanner in that plan. And, well, just get loads more rounds and plenty of time. They could still get 8 in total and actually take the lead in this half. But, I mean, I think that's fairly unlikely. And I would like to see a good hold from here from Mousesports. The rotate is going to come in very quickly, so that should mean 3 players here to defend the A-bomb site. Indeed, that is the case. And good early exchanges favouring Mousesports. KZY gets 1, Alu gets 1, JW and Pronax. Oh, no, what? Just like that, Fnatic take them all down. And I think I sounded a bit silly there, but I mean, Mousesports looked a bit silly. They had the hold, they had the rotate, and Fnatic just opened them up. And they make it look easy. Matters, what's going on here? Fnatic, they just turn it on and they get rounds. Were we just hyping up Mousesports a little bit too much? I don't know.
The problem is that Mousesports were all looking in the same area. They're all looking towards mid and main, and they just didn't really pay any attention to the door. And that's where Fnatic really jumped on top of them. tabseN has picked up a couple of kills, but again, he's just trying to save. This is going to be around to Fnatic regardless. He may very well be taken out of Olofmeister, who is moving his way in. tabseN gets the kill, and that's actually really significant. Yes, he won the round, but everybody now has to rebuy.
Yeah, you know, it's the little battles that sometimes make a big difference. But in terms of the big battle, Mousesports 7-5. If they lose any more rounds, they're not going to be happy with this half at all. So, you know, they need to get the last 3 here, I would feel, certainly. Fnatic CT side, it's not something to be taken lightly. Fnatic are going to be pressed here, though. JW, specifically, he just ran through mid there. I think he just ran by his man, and he's going to drop down vents and take out tabseN. So, basically, they walk past each other in the smoke. It was Leggett, and he's going to come back and get him. So, actually, very well played in the end. And Chris J, of course, is hitting shots. He's on that B-bomb site. He's doing his job. He's defending it. And now, worst player, e.g. Flusher, who certainly isn't the worst player. Yeah, probably somebody you would want in this kind of scenario. But You would not want this scenario, full stop. It's a 4-on-1. And if Ali lands his shot, which he does, it's going to be 8-5 for Mousesports. So just 2 more, and you know, I think they could be fairly happy with 10-5. But you know, 9-6, no, it's crossing the borders of displeasure probably. So, well, Fnatic on the eco. So let's see if Mousesports can make it 9-5 at least.
Yeah, it's called worst player, yet he's top fragging on this team. So there you go. Flusher, doing a nice job. Legia taking a book out of Rubino's. Taking a page out of his book, I should say. They kept rushing down mid in the last one, and this is just easy peasy for Kazuya. He's got 2. Alu comes round, but there's 2 frags back though from Fnatic. And if they get this bomb down, that's a really good eco round for them. In actual fact, they could even win this round outright. Legia does get the upper hand though from main. And now Crims is in circle. Players to his left, players to his right. He's been flashed, and there's Chris J. Surprise, surprise, with the headshot. 9-5. Will be the scoreline. If Fnatic can get 9-6, they'll be very happy with that, I'd imagine, especially considering how some of these rounds have gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so Mousesports do need this round still, I think. Chris J and Alu both AWPing, so they're bringing out the big guns. Literally, they're bringing out the AWPs. And, well, the mop-up crew really doing its job there in the retake. They did, you know, a fine job in the, was it 3-on-2, I believe? I think it was 3-on-2, and they didn't drop a single member. So, a very solid retake, and, well, looks like it's going to be another A play for Fnatic. So, are they going to actually hold the site this time? Or are they going to be on the retake scenario, in which they have had some fairly decent success. But either way, we're about to find out, as Fnatic definitely making their way towards this A bomb site with haste. And, well, they're pretty much set up to go. You see Flusher and another member there smoking their way through. Legia came from behind, did not get the frag. You would have expected him to at least get 1 there, and he got none. So, not great from him. Flusher is on 8 HP, but he's still alive. He's still good to go. Crims gets Alu, and Crims gets KZY. Crims just opening up the site. Fnatic, they're basically saying we're going to take this site, and they do with relative ease. Chris J lands a nice shot, though. And as long as Chris J is alive, there is still a little bit of hope. But it's not anymore as Chris J drops, and Crims, as I did originally try to say, finds that shot. And Tabson is also going to fall to the AK of JW. Nice headshot and a nice half, all things considered, for Fnatic. 9-6, I think they will be the more happy team.
Agreed. Typically on CT on this map, they are very, very strong. So, Mousesports have their work cut out for them here, especially if they were to lose the pistol round. But again, look at that. Chris J, 18 for 8. Nearest player on 12. Alu on 6. And as you said, you know, he's tripling his kills. And in the first map, Alu was the standout player by a considerable margin. On the other side, though, Olafmeister on 3 for 12. How many times do you say that? Very, very rarely. This guy's normally at the top of the board, or he's thereabouts.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Alu's at the bottom as well, so it's a bit weird, that, isn't it? But, I mean, there are some candidates for kind of man of the match, because they're not normally great fraggers, e.g. Pronax on 14 to 10. He's actually got the most frags for his side. He is, of course, the in-game leader. Not somebody you'd normally expect to be getting those wild frag scores. So, I mean, well played to Pronax, and it just shows if one of the players isn't playing that well, the rest of them step up. But, yeah, welcome to the stream. This is, of course, the Hitbox CS Arena Championship, and this is the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second map of a best of 3 between these two fine teams, and, of course, Fnatic did take map number 1, and, well, with relative ease, wasn't it, Med? It was 16-5, so they had a commanding lead on that one. This one has certainly been a lot more close, and Mousesports won't be that happy with the first half, but if they can get this pistol round, then we've got a game on our hands, and we might just be going to Dust 2 for a third map, and I certainly hope so. So once again, a big warm welcome to the stream, and here we go into the second half. Yeah,
so we are going to be jumping into the second half, and every round, it goes without saying, but every round is absolutely crucial, especially for Mousesports. They can't afford to lose this map. Chris J pops down the vent, and he does get that quick fire first frag, and look at this, both him and Kazuya are really running interference. Legia, Tampson, Alu all planting the bomb on A, and Fnatic are like, hold on a second, what the hell just happened there? Now they're realising what the situation is. They have to rotate. Pronax, if he gets this kill, they've got a chance, but Alu comes out ahead, and now it's all on JW. Kazuya gets him with ease, 10-6. I love that tactic, and we saw it last time that Mouse played as well.
I do as well. Yeah, I know. Hats off to Mousesports tactically there, and they got their shots down as well. So brilliant round from them. Exactly what they needed, and you know, that will keep their hopes alive. But something, you know, I just cast my mind back to the first half. Fnatic did win the second round, so they're not out of it yet. They're not out of the woods yet. I do want to see Mousesports pick up this round, and I really hope Fnatic, you know, for the sake of the third map dream, I really don't want Fnatic to get this, because Mousesports are losing 2 second rounds in a row. Once again, we keep going on about confidence and momentum and things like that, and you know, these words get bandied about, you know, willy-nilly sometimes. But I mean, you know, I can't understate the importance of winning the second round in terms of confidence. And with Fnatic already a map up, you know, they could just run away with it here in the second half. They are on the easier side. So Mousesports, crucial round for me, maybe almost as important as the first. And Meister gets spotted out. Chris J doing what Chris J does and using scoped rifles, scout or AWP, doesn't matter, give it to him and he's going to get frags with it. He's been playing very, very well indeed on this map. Tabsin is not going to be a fool and he's going to spot that out. And Crim's now on the B-bomb site. It's going to be contested heavily here. And well, let's see who's going to be the victors. Of course, the Guns would be the favourites to come out on top, and they are at the moment. They're getting ground, and they're making very good headway. Fnatic have only got 1 round, which just came from the 5-7 of Pronax. But if KZY lands his shot, and he does, that's a very good round for Mousesports, considering they lost the first round second half, man. Losing only one member in that one. Yeah, it's a lot better, and they possibly started off the C word here. Well, it's not even a C word, is it? It's almost a C word because it's against Fnatic, but yeah, they put themselves in a good position having won that second round.
It's true, and we did talk about this at half-time as well, that Mousesports were in a bit of a sticky situation, but in fairness to them, they've bounced back in the best possible way, and they're keeping the momentum going forward. And remember, the third map will be Dust 2 if we need it, and that is Mousesports, one of their favourite maps, if not their favourite. They have a very good chance at winning that. So maybe the 2-0 prediction that I was making could be well and truly incorrect. And we could see Mousesports causing a bit of an upset here. Because Zoya does get the kill. This is an eco round from Fnatic, so you're not really expecting too much. I'm not going to hold my breath for some epic plays, but all things considered, 12-6 more than likely will be the scoreline. And that's going to put the Germans in a really good position. Have I spoke too soon, though? Pronax and Flusher both get pistol headshots. Flusher's rushing right at him. He pulls out his knife. And Chris J spins around and no-scopes him. Are you kidding me? And then Alu gets the final kill. 12-6 and the bomb plant to Mousesports.
Yeah, so Chris J traded out the scout for an AK there, and they did just lose 1 gun effectively. So the money is absolutely fine for Mousesports. Chris J is going to have that AWP, which is, of course, what he was waiting for. He is landing shot after shot. So get him that big green. Get it to him and just let him do his things. Right now, he's certainly on form. Mousesports, as you say, doubling the round score of Fnatic. JW might just be able to dash the dreams, though, as he combines with Meister, getting 1 frag each in the middle contention earlier on. This is, by the way, you know, middle, we haven't even mentioned it once, is a very, very crucial part of the map. There's been so much action, we haven't really had a chance to talk about the map, but your middle is crucial. So you'll often see CT aggression there, and that's exactly what we saw. And that's what we saw Mousesports doing a lot as well. They weren't giving up middle easily. So, yeah, not surprised to see an early contest happening there, but a 3-on-4 is now where we're at, and 2 members have rotated towards this A-bomb site, so it's not going to be easy to get in. Meister does find Alu, he hasn't really stepped up yet for me, mate. I thought he was going to a lot earlier than this in this map.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And 8-12, it's not the worst scoreline we've seen today. It's definitely not as bad as Meister's performing, but still, you expect more from him. He is the only Finnish player taking part here, and he is going to have to hope on Legia to rescue this round. Not going to happen. 12-7. They've got more than enough money, though, to buy back up again. Chris J can drop Soak and Alu, so they should be able to buy up some more AK-47s. And, of course, an assault rifle alongside the AWP, probably. Yeah, there's the AWP, has been picked up. So they're going to try and bounce back in this round, but Fnatic, maybe they've just found their form. Maybe the momentum is now going to shift in their favour.
Well, that was the first buy round. Let's not forget that. So the rounds before that, you know, you can't really count them as a proper representation of what we're expecting to see. They were just pistol rounds. So that was the first buy round, and firmly in the hands of the Swedes. Fnatic really winning that in convincing fashion. And Flusher is going to catch Legia off guard. The smoke was his best friend there, actually, and it was a CT smoke. Saved his life, effectively, because Flusher definitely would have found that frag. But look at the health already. Alu's tagged up, and Chris J, and who is that? Ledger is also very, very tagged up. So early exchanges most certainly favouring Fnatic here, as Mousesports gear up towards that A bomb site. And actually, there's only one member over this. This could be a very good decision.
It could very well be, but on the flip side, well, Olafmeister's going to pick up the first kill, so I'll hold that thought. There's Chris J, though, catching JW in the backside. Olafmeister, I called him out as having a bit of a poor game, but he is bouncing back, or is he? Because Kazuya and Alu have both chimed in to pick themselves up kills. Flusher is coming round, finally changed his name. He's going to get one on Kazuya. Could very well get his second. Indeed, he will. He's going to reload. That could cost him his life. No, Crims from uppers that. He is going to get the kill, and that's going to be another round to Fnatic. So, the plot thickens.
It does indeed, and I mean, simple play from Flusher. I mean, on the face of it, you would say he just ran in and shot them, right? But he had the knowledge that the bomb was in their hands, and it was most certainly going to be planted in that position. So his thinking was, I'm not even going to allow the bomb to be planted. He just went straight in there. And he was backed up by, I can't remember who it was, but somebody backed him up on the upper as well. So they got all three frags between them. So individually brilliant from Flusher, as we expect almost. And yeah, 8 rounds on the board now for Fnatic. And the push through middle is going to be just wiped out single-handedly by Wonderchild, as he was called yesterday. JW, of course. One of the players to watch is always for Fnatic, certainly proving his worth there. And they pick up the 9th round, and Metas, since the pistols, since they've started buying, they've not dropped one CT round.
That's a good point. They haven't. And this is where Fnatic really do show their strengths, that when they have an advantage, you know, we said this in the previous map as well, they have an advantage, they don't give it up. If they have weapons and they start smashing you down, they're going to keep that aggression on. Everybody double figures apart from Olafmeister, who's on 7. But look at that on the flip side. Chris J, 26 frags. Nearest person is on 15 on his team. Somebody else needs to step up to the plate if they want to secure this map. Alu, maybe, is just about to do that. He's took down Pronax. He'll get tagged up himself, though, down to 16 HP. He is going to be one-on-one with JW. Any second down, he gets the upper hand. Beautiful headshot. Chris J goes in, gets himself a frag as well. So this is looking like it'll be 13-9. Olafmeister gets taken out. Was that did he just get that headshot while falling down and flashed through smoke? Are you having a laugh, mate?
Man. It's Chris J, I mean, no big deal.
Are you actually having a laugh? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. It's just changing the whole physics of the game, let alone performing well here. Legit is going to be challenging Flusher for the right to hold on to that gun. Flusher's landed a frag onto Chris J, but that's all he's going to get. And, well, Chris J only dropped there in the end, so do we even count that frag as well, do you know what I mean? The round was won, not dropping one single member. So a fantastic round from Mousesports. And just as we were hyping up Fnatic winning, you know, for me, Fnatic, they were just looking undefeatable almost. You know, they're winning every single buy round with at least 3 members remaining, and then Mousesports come up big and they do that. So the hope is still there for them. That, you know, the dream might just be real. But JW does take down Chris J, and if there's any member on your team you do not want dying first, it's Chris J. So Fnatic might just put a halt to the dream just for another round. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. As the push is gonna be towards A, there's 2 members there to defend. Olafmeister with the quick flick there onto Tabson, or the quick scope I should say, just bring it to a 3-on-4, but they're going to pretty much get the entrance here, and they're going to get the bomb down, so it's going to be retake scenario for Fnatic.
Yeah, so Alu's going to get one. There's Pronax though from Forklift. Okay, Kazuya could get this. Yes, he does. And the bomb's been planted. Kazuya gets the double. Really stepped it up. I've got to give mad props to him. He had a quiet game. 17-17 though. Got to give him all the credit in the world. JW has to push aggressively. He gets the first one, and he knows where the last player is because the shots were coming out. Defuse has been faked. Oh, he's missed the shot, JW, dearie me. And that is going to be the end of the round. If that shot connects, it's going to be 13-10, but instead, it'll be 14-9.
14-9? Oh my god, we might be seeing a third map. My heart might be right, man. And look at this, Fnatic. Fnatic do not have the money to buy. Breaking news, Mousesports more than likely are going to see themselves on 15 on Fnatic's choice of map. So, the plot indeed thickens as we might just be seeing Dust 2 here, which I'm over the moon at just the prospect of. So, Mousesports really stepping up their game on Terry's side of Cash here. Having, I think it was 9-6. Yeah, it was 9-6. I said Mousesports wouldn't be necessarily that happy with the scoreline, but things not looking so bad for them now. As Fnatic, as I say, on the eco, do drop an early man as well. So JW dropping, and the information will not have been gathered because that was through the smoke. So they might not be cottoned on to the fact it is an eco just yet. But, well, they're playing like they know it is, as they are taking their time, not really going anywhere, just controlling middle, but not that well, as Crims takes down Alu. They're just going to take down Olifmeister, though, so that's going to be a return frag, and the bomb is going to make its way towards A. Guns versus pistols. Fnatic really shouldn't get much done in this round, but Ronax has already won. Didn't get a second, and he's not going to do that. Crims gets one back, but he's very, very low, so, I mean, fantastic eco round, but Mousesports should win this.
They should, but Crims does have an AK-47. If he can get a quick pick now, he's got the bomb down as well. This is going to be a difficult one for him to clutch, but it is doable. It is possible. Because Mousesports, they are frantically trying to draw him out with these flashbangs. And he's not giving, but there we go. Kazuya will get the kill. And that takes it to 15-9. And who thought this would happen?
Not
Look
you.
at the economy as well from Fnatic. They are in all sorts of trouble.
The money's still not great. They even ecoed that round and they still can't buy. So our Mousesports on the verge of closing out map 2. This is great for a spectator point of view. Map number 3 in the grand final. There was a very real danger of this being a bit of a walkover for Fnatic from the Swedish Giants, the runners-up, the ESL1 Cologne. You know, you bet your money on them. But here we go, Mousesports, the German side, really you know, taking it to the Swedish Giants here, and they are faced up an eco, so if they just play it simply, play it like a standard round, don't give away any easy frags, we should be seeing Dust 2.
It's very possible that Dust 2 will be the next map, because it is, of course, penciled in for third map to be played here. But there's still 6 opportunities. Well, I was going to say 6 opportunities for Fnatic. That's not the case. They have to win the next 6 rounds, is what I was going for. Mag 7, CZs, 5-7. It's not really the best arsenal that you want to be taking into an all-out war that you have to win. But they're holding their positions, and they're holding them firm. The onus is on Mousesports now. Can you push? Can you make the big plays? Can you get through the Swedes? And so far, it looks like it could be a yes. Crims, though, gets the upper hand with the Mag 7. Will be taken down instantly from Chris J. And now they're pushing into the site itself. Tapson gets himself a kill. Bomb should be going down any second. Now there's Kazuya. And this is more than likely going to go to an all-important third map. JW is waiting. He gets himself 2, but he's been dropped. And it's going to go to Dust 2.
Wow, awesome. Oh, yay, third map. Mousesports 16-9. Sound like a little child there. It's a bit embarrassing, but I'm excited. Forgive me. Come on. This is going to a third map, and most people would have expected this to